Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, Bank of Ghana hints of exercise to close down forex bureaus not complying with foreign exchange laws.
All the recalcitrant ones, of course, we cannot say that all bureau operators are doing something wrong, but the ones who are not doing good business, we will flush them out and will not hesitate at all to flush these people out of the system.
Plus, one mining firm advances $6 million to Bank of Ghana even before foreign exchange sale framework is finalized with the regulator.
The reality is that mining companies bring back to the country so much USD, forex, by way of the revenues that they generate. And these mines actually go to support their operations, pay salaries, pay for various inputs, whether it is diesel.
Plus, Bank of Ghana finances 78% of government expenditure in the first half of this year. We'll hear from US-based professor who wants a cap on government borrowing from the central bank. My name is Beverly Broohm. Please stay for details. Hello and welcome. The Bank of Ghana has revealed that it will soon embark on an exercise to close down licensed forex bureaus that are not complying with the foreign exchange laws. Official of the Bank of Ghana disclosed this to Joy Business after embarking on some field exercise to check the level of compliance with some forex bureaus in Accra. James Eshen has the rest of the story.
Bank of Ghana said this is one of the measures to control the sharp depreciation of the cedi. They maintain that forex bureaus across the country should desist from determining forward rate. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Financial Stability at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Joseph France, noted that investigations are currently ongoing on some forex bureaus in the country not complying with the forex exchange laws.
As far as we are concerned, we picked evidence that they sell and they don't they don't give receipts. They also don't identify the people. They don't pick their identification, and they also will not. And even if they want to, they can just offer. They have stock of identity cards, and they use that to trade. You know, so in other words, they haven't identified anybody, and this has been confirmed out of the mystery shopping that we did. And so, yes, we are telling the public and, of course, the bureau operators.
Speaking on the way forward, Mr. France explained that the bank won't hesitate to flush them out of the system when found culpable.
We are after all the recalcitrant ones. Of course, we cannot say that all bureau operators are doing something wrong, but the ones who are not doing good business, we will flush them out and will not hesitate at all to flush these people out of the system. Of course, before you close down, you want to gather evidence, and that is what we are gathering. Once we gather enough evidence, which we have, we will not hesitate at all to. So the investigation has started. We will continue with the investigation from here. Then we'll gather all the evidence that we need, and if it warrants closing them down or suspending their license, why not? We will not hesitate to do that.
The Bank of Ghana officials disclosed that the committee is poised to bring some sanity in the forex market across the country.
One mining firm in the country has already sold $6 million to the Bank of Ghana. Another $14 million will be sold soon, even before the industry framework is finalized. The Ghana Chamber of Mines is currently studying Bank of Ghana's proposal to purchase 80% of foreign exchange revenue to boost its dollar reserves. There are fears that this move could face some setbacks. But speaking on PM Express Business Edition, Suleiman Akoni said the chamber is committed to the program.
The reality is that mining companies bring back to the country so much USD, forex, by way of the revenues that they generate. And these monies actually go to support their operations, pay salaries, pay for various inputs, whether it is diesel, whether it is power, and various consumables. So already a lot of it actually comes back. On average, you are talking about 75%. Last year, for example, we did in excess of 80% coming back to the country.
80% of what? Sorry, sorry.
Of revenue.
Of your revenue?
Of mineral revenue, exactly.
The entire industry?
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you would ask yourself, so what has changed? What has changed in the last few years is this recent drive to push hard on local value add, local procurement, and so on and so forth. So even as you have local entrepreneurs being in a position to supply the kinds of goods and services that the mining industry needs, indirectly actually affects the forex flow as well, because then companies are compelled to actually bring the forex here to support their operations. So it's a good thing that we continue to push the envelope on local content, local procurement. The watchword, though, is to make sure that these are fit for purpose and they actually they are in a position to help the industry to actually thrive.
Mr. Kony, just not to box you down to the exact numbers, you talked about bringing in 85% of revenue. That is how much are we looking at here? I mean, not the exact numbers, but even the round figure, please, for last year or even 2021 or 2020.
Last year, our revenue was about 8 billion. No, about 5 billion, sorry.
$5 billion.
Last year, our revenue was about 5 billion. And we are talking about an average about 75%. Last year, the return was about 80%. But I'm talking about an average over last 5 years or so, which counts about 75%.
Did you say 7 or 8 billion? I stand to be corrected, please.
No, it's about 5 billion.
About 78% of the 28 billion cedis financing need of government in the first half of this year came from the Bank of Ghana. That's according to US-based Associate Professor at Niagara University, Dr. Dennis Nsafwa. In the process, he said the country lost about $2 billion of its international reserves, a situation exposing the city to currency speculations.
So the Bank of Ghana is not increasing money supply. The process they are doing is technically called sterilization. So they are selling the USD reserves they hold, using the cedi equivalent to buy back the government bonds. So in that way, they are able to actually cushion the government's financial needs. And I must actually point out that, give me a second, I must actually point out that Ghana's problem for the first half of the year has largely been financing and fiscal problems. And the Bank of Ghana has been the solution. All right. In as much as we want to talk about the Bank of Ghana, we actually have to commend them that Ghana has been able to survive the first half of the year because of their innovative ways of finding means to finance the government.
Well, congratulations to them. But just like you point out, it's also exposing our currency to speculators. Now, you're asking for a cap when it comes to financing from the Bank of Ghana to the government. How feasible is this? How realistic is this?
It's all about political will to do it. The Bank of Ghana, in their recent report, said they are actually going to speak to the finance ministry to put a cap on the overdraft. This is essential. They have to do it because they can't sustain what they did in the first half of the year. They may run out of reserves entirely if they try to replicate the model they used in the first half of the year to finance the budget. The government has to find a way not to create deficits. Now, the problem in Ghana is we don't have means to finance our deficit. The government has lost access to international markets, and then the domestic market is also really constrained. So the government do not have means to finance the budget or to finance their deficit. If you're a government and you don't have means to finance your deficit, the only option available to you is don't create deficit.
Now, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu-Efiri-Akoto, has charged the newly constituted board of the Truffle oil palm plantation to put up necessary measures to revive the company. He tasked the board to work to attract investors and add value to raw materials before they are exported. Here's more from the inauguration of the board.
The Truffle Oil Palm Plantation Limited was registered as a limited liability company in 1977. TOP has 4,234 hectares of nucleus oil palm plantation. The company provides extension services to 1,894 smallholder plantation and 3,300 outgrower projects. According to the Food and Agriculture Minister, Dr. Efriya Koto, this is part of government's attempt to prevent food insecurity in Ghana.
The Ghanaian farmer has demonstrated their commitment to come along with us in this new development. We are very hopeful that it will work, and Truffle Oil Palm Plantation is very much part of that scheme of things, that you are in the second module of Planting for Food and Jobs, which is to do with the diversification of Ghana's export agriculture. So I want to put your brief into context. Fortunately, you have a big brother, Unilever, with you, who will be able to take your produce to the Tamale factories to produce all kinds of products for this economy and the ECOWAS economy and beyond that. So you have a responsibility to ensure that this company grows. I know that they had outgrowers programs, including in Nana's own town, where farmers have been supplied with seedlings, with extension services so that production can grow.
Board Chairman George Odro said the board will work to bring to life the company.
Turn around of TOP and make it a profitable entity. We promise to do our best in order to justify the confidence reposed in us as a board. Once again, I would like to, on behalf of my colleagues, board members, to express our sincere gratitude for you to give us this opportunity to serve our mother Ghana.
TOP buys about 50% of its fresh fruit bunches from 1,241 farmers.
The second phase of the construction of the Tamale Motorway Roundabout flyover is set to commence in September this year. According to the Japan International Cooperation Agency, the $27 million project is to complement that of the Eastern Corridor. Speaking to Joy Business's program specialist in charge of infrastructure at the Japan International Cooperation Agency, Prince Bill, said the project is expected to be completed in December 2025.
The project is to improve the Tamale Motorway Roundabout ancillary facilities and the north-south direction. According to Mr. Bill, plans are far advanced with partners to get the project done.
So this project was in support of the national transport policy of the government of Ghana, and it dealt with aspects of the international corridors, in Ghana. So, as I explained, this interchange is on the Trans-ECOWAS highway linking Lagos to Abidjan. After completion of the phase 1, we intend to do a phase 2, which will be a flyover that will link the port, the Tamale port, to the Akosombo Road, and it's expected to ease traffic on that stretch. Again, we thought that safety was important, so we had to put pedestrian bridges on all the 4 legs of the interchange. As I mentioned, you have the Akosombo Road, and then you also have the Harbour Road, you have the Aflao stretch, and then the Accra stretch. And on all 4 legs of them, we decided to put a pedestrian bridge for safe crossing.
Speaking to a section of the media, senior representative at the Japan International Cooperation Agency, Oda Rotaro, said as part of this year's Tokyo International Conference on African Development to be held in Tunisia, the Japanese government aimed at supporting startups and green businesses.
Especially, it should be easier for you to grasp the concrete idea of our cooperation approaches, which people-centered, ensuring ownership, and also the effective use of Japanese experience, knowledge, and technologies. And considering the situation that we experienced, the pandemic and the Ukraine crisis, I believe that the ticket aid will be a great chance. Yeah, because we all now know that how important the resilience is. Yeah.
The Japan International Cooperation Agency has over the years built a resilient and a sustainable society, promoting efforts in the field including measures against the COVID-19 and supporting education.
You're still watching Business Live here on the Joy News channel. We take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please stay with us. News coming in now is that okay, so before we go to that story, we'll give you another story. Now, the traders selling personal care items are worried about the declining spending habits. Prices of everyday bath and personal care products have sharply increased. Vendors have expressed shock at the surge in prices of these typically affordable toiletries. As many are import goods, vendors blame the rise in price of the cedi depreciation. In today's episode of the Joy Business Shopping List, Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong speak to personal care traders at the Central Business District of Kumasi.
Hi, it's another episode of the Shopping List. Today we are here at the KJTR market and we're taking a look at the personal care and beauty market. After looking at food and commodities, we are now focusing on everyday items that we use on our bodies. We are here at Yesudia shop to find out the price changes over the past few months and even weeks. Madam, so you want to look at the price variations over the past few months, especially with soaps, which are part of body care products. So I've spotted Irish Spring. Can you tell us the price changes over the past months?
Irish Spring, one is 15 cedis, and if you buy one, it's 15 cedis, and the wholesale price is 14 cedis.
So I've also spotted, is it Dudu Osun black soap? Yes, it's quite popular among the young ladies. They use it a lot. Could you tell us the price of the black soap? Yeah.
The black soap is 15 cedis. One is 15 cedis, and it's also good for the skin, for every skin. Yeah, you can use it for anyhow. When you have pimples, when you use it, it will go, and then more skin. It's good.
So that's the Dudu black soap for you. It's quite affordable. All these for 20 cedis, 6 bars for 20 cedis. I've as well spotted Caro White and Clear Man. I think this is purposely for men and this will be for women. Could you tell us the price as well?
The price, Caro White is 12 cedis and also as Clear Man too is 12 cedis. Yeah, we have the big size and the small size. The big size are 19. Then the small is 20 cedis.
So we are moving on to pomade. Okay, so I want to find out from her the common pomades that many people use, because I know there are a few expensive ones which many can't afford. So could you tell us some of the common pomades that you find people buying a lot? I know of cocoa butter. For that one, almost everyone uses that. So what of the others? Could you tell us a few?
Mostly, some men buy Clement, and the women also can use it together, active men, and then we have day-by-day men here. People actually buy Perfect White and then High White.
Okay, so let's look at deodorants. That's the most important thing, because I bought Cornet around 6 cedis last year, and it has jumped to 12 cedis. I'm really surprised. Do you have Cornet? Okay, this one is Nivea. Let's start with Nivea. So how much is one going for?
Nivea is 14 cedis. One is 14 cedis.
14 cedis. Yes. Okay, let's compare the price from last year. What was it selling at?
Maybe 10 cedis, or yeah, I think it was 10 cedis.
So in a year, it has jumped from 10 cedis to
14 cedis.
Wow.
First now 6 cedis and then 8 cedis. And Pampers, soft care. K1 did 13 cities. First, so now, this year they did 15 cities. So I say, a Casapani be or 5 cities here, they are 2. You also saw 10 cities here, they are 2. Toilet through crowd, now for crack, and so many now to 2. Now for so many now to 2. First year to be 84 cities. And a full parking, and so now this auto Rosa. First year is 74, and it's 75. Man, this auto 84. Detergent this senior man is soap this senior man in Aya to 2. Weigh 2 kg, yes, 2 kg, and I are 2. Maybe say maybe did 27, so this time they did 30 cities. Bucket of detergents, no, say. Mada say Yatum just said they did 55. So Yatum and Crania money they need now Yatutum. Do the 100 cities that's how they Tony Ma or the other before labor dia. I know they did say yeah. What over top party 2. What to call sheets 50 cities. Party 2 to 24 cities. Imagine a Becca say over doctors 15 cities. What I say? It's a no grant to be found, Coleba. I know Robert the Coco. It's be found.
You heard from Mamiata, who says items for pregnant women, especially those soon to go into labor, are on the rise. You not spend less than 500 Ghana cedis to buy these items. And let's talk about after delivery. There are other personal care items you will buy to take care of you and your baby. So if you spend, let's say 500 Ghana cedis buying items for delivery, and after delivery you spend another 1,000 cedis, that means within 3 months or 4 months you spend not less than 2,000 Ghana cedis or 3,000 Ghana cedis on personal care items for you and your baby. This means the more you give birth, the more your expenses. That's another episode of the shopping list. My name is Mona Lisa Frimpong.
We end Business Live here on the Joy News channel, but news coming in is that electricity has been restored to Somanya, capital of the Yulo Krobo district, and our man Kwekwa Sante is on the ground to give us details about this development. I mean, these people have been in darkness for like 2 weeks now, but thankfully they are back. They have electricity, and shortly we'll be hearing from our man Kweku Asante, who is on the ground to bring us feed on that developing story. And that's all for Business Live here on the Joy News channel. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. We'll bring you more on the developing story that the people of Somanya have received electricity, and there's light now in the town. And our man Kwekwa Sante is ready to give us details about this story. Hello, Kweku, if you can hear me. What is the situation now at Somanya?
The light actually came on about 15 minutes ago, but the lights have in flames, and so the light has been taken out again. They are working round the clock to ensure that the lights come back later this evening. But for now, the people of Somanya have gone back to default, the same mode as they have been in for the past few weeks. They do not have lights now, but ECG officials telling me now that they are expecting the lights to come back later this evening as they work round the clock to stabilize the transformers.
What was the reaction of the people when the light came on?
So at exactly 5 p.m., the lights came on, and there was sight of jubilation with a few people coming out and shouting that the lights are back, the lights are back. Indeed, a number of them did not know that ECG were going to put on the light, because what they knew was that their chiefs, as well as their MPs and the district assembly, were negotiating with the ECG as well as some government officials, including the national security, to get the lights back on. So they were not expecting that the lights will be coming on. But at exactly 5 p.m., the lights came on, and they were very excited. There were jubilation all over the street. But that jubilation was short-lived. Just about 5 minutes later, the lights went off. We tried to inquire from the ECG officials why exactly the lights have gone back. The explanation was that because the lights have been out here a few weeks now, some of the transformers caught flames, and they are trying to stabilize the situation before they will connect the feeders so that the people of Somanya and the towns around can get their light. And just as you know, for the past few weeks, they've not had electricity because the residents had some disagreements with ECG officials in terms of prepaid meter installation. But it seems as though now there is some sort of agreement for the prepaid meters to be installed. Just a few minutes ago, I saw a military vehicle pass around. They are going to work with the ECG officials to install the meters and put back the lights. And so we are still on the ground. We are expecting that the lights will come back pretty shortly in the next hour or two, as the ECG officials have been informing us.
Thank you so much, Kwekwa Asante. That's a man, Kwekwa Asante, reporting live from Somanya, where news is coming in that electricity was restored and has been taken back again. So in our subsequent bulletins, we'll bring you updates on that. Thank you so much for your time here on Business Live. We'll bring you more news in our subsequent bulletin. Have a good evening.